Hi guys, so in this video I'll be talking about how I flip Axies and make about $250 in my first week of doing this. So before I tell you my results of what I have flipped so far, let me get into how you should find potential targets to flip in the marketplace. Okay, so in order to start flipping Axies, the most important website that I think I use the most is probably axieworld.com, and I'll link this in the description below. But this basically tells you all the cards you want to find, and you can sort by what type of parts and etc. So the first rule to discover what you want to flip is, I think it's very important to actually start playing the game and knowing what skills work best in the arena, and also what can you improve your current team. And this is how I actually find targets to flip, is that because I'm running a double aqua team, I'm constantly trying to figure out what to improve for my team. Last season, for example, I was having trouble against pure double aquas. So to improve that, I can get a Watering Can tank at the front for the plant, and I can also improve like the mid lane. I needed more shield or more speed up, more outplay potential. So this is what you have to do to like find what are the targets that can improve your team and at the same time flip Axies, right? So the benefit of this is obviously it's easier to find targets to flip because you will get the rough idea of what you're trying to look for and just replace parts of the Axies. And another good point is that you can actually play around with it. So if you know this Axie can be flippable and also can improve your team, you can have fun playing with that Axie and also figuring out what are the weaknesses and hopefully improve your team as well. If you love that one, you can actually get one for yourself and just play it, right? So with that out of the way, I found out this type of Axie to be quite decent for a mid lane tank, and because this has good shield and also good damage to get rid of the tank, and also it's very common for mid laners to have a Nemo. So this was what I discovered to actually improve my team. And so you look at this and then you see what are the prices for all of these. So if you can, as you can see here, obviously you want the highest speed because you'll be playing as well, so you would obviously want the best one overall. And you can see that this is 0.113 ETH and this is 125. So you can actually get a decent flip for like 40 bucks maybe for this, because it's a difference of $50, and you have to take into consideration for the 4.25% market rate that will be taken. And so this is how I find targets to flip. And so my first flip that I actually made was this Axie right here. So I was thinking, because my back lane could be improved, I found out that this is actually a pretty good Axie to replace my back lane. And I look at the marketplace and see the average prices of each of these Axies, and I found out that I can actually get a decent flip out of this. And with this, as you can see, I bought it for 0.1 ETH and I sold it for 0.116 ETH. So this is roughly a $50 flip. It's about 0.016 ETH difference. And so if you calculate this, you get about 0.015 ETH for a profit. And right now the price of Ethereum rise up, so it's about $70 of a flip. And then after that, this is a pretty good flip that I did. So this was also a backlane card that I noticed it was underselling because of the averages between the rest of these Axies. And so I bought it for 0.066 and I sold it for 0.084. I get about 0.014 profit here as well. So 0.014 is about $64. And the next one I did was this Axie right here. Is a mid lane Axie that has good potential. Actually, I love playing this because of the pliers. It deals a lot of damage against tanks, and also you have the Goda to destroy their energy. So this one is a bit tricky to use, but if you know what you're doing, you can outplay your opponent really well, especially with the goldfish as well. I bought this for 0.065 and I sold it for 0.091. So I got about 0.022 ETH of a profit, and if you look at that, it's about $100 profit. After that, I bought this. This is just a small flip that I did. So this is the back lane as well, and I found it to be very cheap. Even though it's not the max speed possible, I found it to be very cheap compared to the rest, and this was actually bought and sold pretty quickly. So with this flip, I get about 0.01. So I made 0.0062 ETH, which is not that much, but you know, it's still profit. And this gives us about $28. And then those are my 4 flips so far that I've made on my first week. So in total, I made about $260 for my first week of flipping, and that's a pretty good result for my first experience on flipping Axies. And right now, as you can see, I bought 2 more Axies to flip, and I'm actually having a trouble flipping these. So this is actually after the balance patch came out, and I bought this thinking that it would start to go up in value due to the Ronin nerf, but I didn't know that this actually hurts me more because according to the morale, the crit is much lesser now. Instead of 170 damage, it's about 144 damage on Ronin, and which is still pretty decent, but it got nerfed pretty hard. So if you look at the market, Koi, Kaku. So if you look at this, you can see that I bought it for, this was when it was just after the balance patch, and I bought it for about 0.089 ETH. And after that, this was the lowest price I can get, and after that, the price started dropping, and everyone is selling for about, right now it's about 0.08. So I don't think I will get a profit for this flip. I might wait it for a bit, just wait until the price balance out, because right now everyone is panicking. So it is actually a good opportunity to buy if you know what you're doing, because a lot of people are undervaluing Axies right now. And so another Axie that I bought was this one. I bought it for 0.074, and because of the Poupée buff, I thought this would be pretty decent, and also the cactus buff as well. And you know, I played it around and it's pretty decent. So if you look at the marketplace right now, it's actually selling for quite less. So this is what I'm selling for right now, and people are already listing for quite low. But previously, I only saw these 4 being listed. I bought it thinking I can get a pretty decent flip, like $100 flip, because I bought it for 0.074, and I thought I can list it up to 0.1, above 0.1 ETH. But right now people are selling for a bit lower, but you know what, I'm just gonna put it right here. Hopefully people buy it. If not, I'll just wait until the marketplace settles, and then maybe relist again if I deem that it might not be worth it to list this high of a price. Then I'll probably put it down lower. If you are in my situation right now, don't panic and just wait it out. If it starts dropping, then maybe you should sell, but worst case scenario, I'll probably wait until the game is hyped up again and everyone starts buying the Axies like crazy, and these prices will start to go higher and higher. And yeah, that's it. Bye guys.